once again to the new Atlanta Dragway near Commerce, Georgia, for the second annual NHRA Winston All-Stars event. This was a very special race with big money posted in all the categories and all made possible by Winston.
Big checks for big bucks from Winston. $30,000 for Pro Stock, $50,000 each for the winners of Top Fuel and Funny Car. And with me is an old friend of ours, Wayne Robertson, Senior Vice President with R.J. Reynolds and the Winston brand. And Wayne, what an exciting day this has been. The racers have been doing anything to win this money.
I'll tell you, Steve, the competition's been fantastic. $130,000, the largest payday in cumulative for all three of the pro categories, and we're excited about this weekend.
And this is only the second year for the Winston All-Stars. What a future this event has.
Well, this is an event designed to be the best of the best, and I think the competition yesterday and today has certainly proved with the closeness of our times that the competition is here. We do have the best of the best, and it's a fan appreciation event. We want to hear from the fans. We want to know what they want to see, and this is a special event.
Only the top 10 racers from the Winston Championship in 1987 were invited to compete at the second annual Winston All-Stars. In Pro Stock Eliminator, the finalists found Jerry Ekman in the Pontiac against the Ford of Bob Glidden. A giant starting line advantage by Jerry Ekman won him $30,000.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Winston All-Stars Pro Stock champion, the winner of $30,000, Jerry Ekman.
Oh, thank you, Steve. What a thrill. I'm so excited that Winston gave us the opportunity to do this. And I'm excited for my team, for Pennzoil, Pontiac, Stratford Motor Products, and the whole group that makes this possible me to drive this.
I'm proud of you. Another hole shot at 755 to beat to 749. The Pontiac helped. You won the race.
Thank you very much, Steve. We've been working on that, and it looks like it paid off.
In a race that matched the best competitors in the world, it was only fitting that the top two finishers in Funny Car would race for the Winston All-Stars title. Kenny Bernstein against Mark Oswald. This was Bernstein's second consecutive Winston All-Stars final round appearance. Again, it was starting line reaction time that won the race. Mark Oswald, the champion.
Both drivers recording identical 5:52 elapsed times, but you, Mark Oswald, had the reaction time and have just won $50,000 from Winston. Congratulations.
Well, we couldn't be happier with the Winston involvement. They've put drag racing where they are today. And our sponsors, Motorcraft and Stroh's, they didn't hurt us any either, so we're not quite used to winning like this way. We kind of came from behind. We came from the number 8 position, and we just improved a little bit every time, and it was enough. And anytime you can beat somebody in a team like Kenny Bernstein's, with all that talent, what makes us real happy.
The final race at the Winston All-Stars saw the Top Fuel drivers Eddie Hill and Gene Snow square off for $50,000. Snow finished number 9 in 1987. That earned him the right to be here. He had put away the number 1 qualifier, Darrell Gwynn, earlier in competition. Across the finish line by half a car length, Gene Snow won the Winston All-Star.
Gene Snow has just made $10,000 a second for his final round effort of 5:14.
Wow. I don't know what to say. I just can't believe it all came out just like this right now.
No, I asked if you were going to back down the motor. You said no. Make all the horsepower you can and corral it.
That's what we tried to do. Joe Paisano said it, and we just let the clutch slip and made the power, and it worked. It's wonderful.
As the 6th Winston Championship event of the season, National Trail Raceway near Columbus, Ohio, hosted the 24th annual running of the Budweiser Spring National. This track had seen its share of improvements over the winter also. Most important, the installation of a 300-foot-long concrete starting line pad. As part of the Spring Nationals action, the champions were crowned in the DRW Sportsman All-Stars. In Super Street Eliminator, Greg Miller at the wheel of a 75 for Vega, raced against Alan Billings, driving the Firebird. The Super Street champion, Craig Miller. In Super Gas Eliminator, Chuck Buckshore drove an 84 Mustang against Rick Dukerson's 67 Camaro. Buckshorn and the Mustang broke out. The Super Gas champion was Rick Dukerson. In Super Comp Eliminator, Ray Shearer, driving the 23 Ford T Roadster, raced against Keith Sykes, also at the wheel of the Roadster. A picture-perfect run for Ray Shearer won the Super Comp All-Stars title. Stock Eliminator found Al Provost driving a station wagon against Kent Henley at the wheel of a 67 Camaro. This race was decided at the starting line as Kent Henley and the Camaro left the red light glowing. Al Provost won the race. Super Stock Eliminator found the 81 Chevy Malibu of Jim Gorman racing against the 67 Camaro of Mike Say. The Super Stock champion in the TRW All-Stars competition was Jim Gorman. Competition Eliminator found Rick Horde at the wheel of an 86 Oldsmobile Forenza against an 88 Chevrolet Beretta driven by Todd Patterson. The victory in Competition Eliminator by a wide margin went to Rick Horde. Top Alcohol Funny Car found the #1 qualifier and defending Winston champion, Matt Austin, matched against Denny Townsend. Townsend had problems right at the start, and Matt Austin won the All-Stars championship. In Top Alcohol Dragster, Tom Conway raced against the defending Winston champion, Denny Lucas. Conway from Seminole, Oklahoma. Lucas out of Grand Junction, Colorado. In a close race, Denny Lucas defeated Tom Conway and won the TRW All-Stars title. Tricky track conditions were the order of the day at the 24th Annual Spring Nationals. In the first round of Funny Car Eliminator, Mark Oswald raced Dale Baldy. Both drivers went up in smoke. Then Oswald, who had the race won, crossed the center line, eliminating him from competition. An on-site inspection of the center line proved that Oswald had crossed over, thus disqualifying himself. In the second round of Top Fuel Eliminator, the man that had been the picture of consistency during the early part of the 1988 season had the choice of lane. Joe Amato selected the furthest lane from the camera, and he went up in smoke. That gave Jerry Ormsby the win and the right to advance into the semifinals. In Funny Car Eliminator, not all of the action was concentrated on smoking tires at the starting line. In the race in the first round between Don Prudhomme and Ron Dudley, excitement took on another form altogether. gigantic engine explosion and fire for Ron Dudley. The NHRA Safety Safari was quick on the scene as the blazing car came to a stop against the guardrail. The crewman, without regard to his own personal safety, jumped into the inferno to extricate Dudley. He was transported to the hospital with second and third degree burns, but survived this harrowing incident. The finals of Pro Stock Eliminator at the Spring Nationals saw the classic Ford versus Chevrolet match and the first final round appearance of the season by drag racing's winningest driver, Bob Glidden. Glidden was matched against Bruce Allen. In dramatic style, Bob Glidden won his first race of the year.
Low ET 742.
I thought it was really a good run, Steve. The car left the starting line perfectly. The track was a little better because it's cooler, and I'll tell you, we've had a lot of great wins, but believe me, this is the best.
The finals of Funny Car Eliminator at the Spring National saw Bruce Larson in the final round for the second consecutive race, and John Horst driving for his second NHRA National event win. When he won his first at the Grand Nationals back in 1987, Diamond B Sports was not on hand. When Bruce Larson smoked the tires at the start, John Ford became the Spring Nationals champ.
Congratulations, John.
They did.
Oh, perfect. Everybody expected you to smoke the tires. It was the other way around.
Diamond P wasn't there at Montreal. They're finally here. Thank God. Somebody's here to see me. That's right. It's really amazing. Driving these race cars is something, and I did the dry, and Coyle looked in and said, "We're in trouble, buddy," and all that's left is the dashboard. Can you believe planning on a dashboard to win a race, and I flipped a few buttons, and that old heap worked? I can't believe it.
And this Oscar is going to be in California in a maternity ward by, I'd say, tomorrow afternoon.
I'm leaving right now. I mean, like they're trying to get me something. Yeah, 6 o'clock, my wife, we're trying to induce labor right now. She's overdue, and I got to get home since I hugged this crew. She wants the name Oscar, but I ain't doing it if I won. Now,
She, Oscar?
No, he or she, whatever. She said if you win, we'll call it Oscar or Columbo.
It was high drama in the Top Fuel final at the Spring Nationals. Gene Snow had discovered engine problems just prior to the final round and had to completely rebuild the internal components within the engine. He had not even had an opportunity to fire the engine prior to his burnout. Darrell Gwynn had given him the opportunity to do the mechanical work. This was the third consecutive final round appearance for Gwynn. Snow up in smoke off the starting line, and Gwynn exploded a tire in the light.
That's 3 in a row. Our congratulations on that and on your sportsmanship in not forcing the issue with Gene Snow. You wanted to race.
That's right. I wanted to beat him fair and square, and I didn't necessarily want this to happen, but we'll be back in 2 weeks, guaranteed.
Darrell Gwynn gains a little ground in Top Fuel, but he's still in the third spot. 6 funny car winners in 6 races. It's anybody's guess as to what's happening there, but Bernstein is back on top. Bruce Allen is holding on, but here comes Bob Glidden.
The only Winston Championship event outside the USA is at San Air Raceway near Montreal, Canada, the site of the 18th annual Molson Grand National. Nearly 30,000 fans were on hand to watch as Hector Pickering, the only Canadian-based dragster to make the Top Fuel field, matched against national record holder Frank Bradley in the first round of racing. Bradley continued to be plagued with fuel delivery problems that resulted in the engine explosion and fire.
And what happened, Frank?
Same thing as yesterday. I changed the fuel system around a little bit and blew the crank out of it yesterday and kicked a rod out of it today.
Also in the first round of racing at San Air and the Grand Nationals, Joe Amato was trying to protect his points lead from the hard-charging Darrell Gwynn, who came into this race with 3 consecutive victories, and of course Eddie Hill with 2 earlier season championships to his credit. Racing against Amato in that first round was Jack Ostrander. Amato had engine problems. Ostrander took the win.
And so as good a sport as you are, to lose in the first round when you're chasing points is enough to put a frown on any man's face.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, Steve. The car has been running good all weekend, and, you know, we were ahead, and something happened to make the car go real lean. And, you know, might have lost a fuel pump or something went wrong. It was a mechanical bug.
3 times Kenny Bernstein has been the Winston champion. But the 1988 season has proven that it is not going to be an easy accomplishment for Bernstein to repeat. There have been 6 races, there have been 6 winners. In the first round at San Air, it was Bernstein against Caminito, and a very rare red light for Kenny Bernstein.
It's been a while, but those things happen, and you know, it's concentration up there, Steve, and I just lost some concentration, and my foot left and went, and my brain said, why'd you do that? And it was over with and done. That's about what happens.
San Air Raceway was not nice to the nitro-burning points leaders. Bruce Allen was hoping to turn that trend around in the first round against Reed Wisden. Wisden had qualified quicker than Allen, who was having problems in Canada. At the finish line, it was just a matter of inches as Reed Wisden defeated Bruce Allen. Bob Glidden historically has taken a multi-event string of victories, parlayed them into a Winston championship. Now with the Spring Nationals title under his belt, everyone was expecting Glidden to defeat Tony Christian. But it was not to be. Tony Christian and the Chevy Beretta, the victor over Bob Glidden's Ford. Still in the first round of competition at San Air, it was Joe Lapone against Morris Johnson Jr. The classic staging battle where the drivers refused to stage finally got the ire of starter Buster Couch. He waved both Lapone and Morris Johnson to the back of the field. They were to race later in the day. When they finally raced, it was Morris Johnson the winner. The semifinals of Top Fuel Eliminator at San Air had 2 major questions proposed. One, could Darrell Gwynn win a 4th consecutive Top Fuel championship? The second, was Gene Snow going to be able to make the semifinal round of competition? The answer to one of those questions was yes. Gene Snow was able to repair his engine and bring the car to the starting area for his semifinal race against Eddie Hill. Dick LaHaye matched against Darrell Gwynn in the semis. And LaHaye prevailed. That brought a stop to Gwynn's win streak.
Well, since the first race of the year, the Winter Nationals, which he won, Dick LaHaye has been able to beat the traffic out of most of these races. He's going to have to hang around with us and fight the crowds, and I don't think he'll mind one bit of 526, Dick. Nice one.
Hey, at least it's been consistent. We keep changing it, and the weather keeps changing on us, and we're just keeping up with the weather is what it amounts to. I'm very pleased. I imagine Kim is just, and the whole crew is probably very pleased. This is the first final round since February, I guess it was. And
we're all pleased for you, believe me.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a jungle out there. These guys are flying.
Eddie Hill qualified number 1 at the Grand Nationals and was ever the Texas gentleman as he waited to start his engine while the crew completed the repairs to Gene Snow's car. Snow, utilizing a high-gear-only car, has performed brilliantly, but has also experienced considerable engine problems for 2 consecutive races.
A 17 to his 16. Wow.
I was really hyper. I don't hardly know what to say. It was a last-minute deal. We didn't know if we were going to make it. We came up there. I didn't know if it was going to start. It started. I didn't know if it hooked. It did. I mean, I just love them people down there, Eddie and Ursi. They're wonderful, but we got to win sometimes, I guess, and I got to take it as they come, and I appreciate them waiting if they did. We were so enthused. We didn't know what we were doing back there time-wise.
The Pro Stock Finals at the Grand National saw two great drivers match a pair of Pontiacs. Butch Leal against Morris Johnson. This was Johnson's second final round appearance of the season, Leal's third. The whole shot didn't matter as Leal had mechanical problems. Johnson won.
Morris Johnson Jr. tosses the helmet in the air. The celebration begins. 742, your first big NHRA win.
Oh, that's got to be the sweetest of all. Sweetest of all. Especially to beat the man like Butch. I mean, he does such a fantastic job. And I don't know who left first, but our car was quitting 60 feet. I know I was in front at that point, so...
all that matters is who got here first.
Oh, yeah, but this race meant so much to a lot of people other than that. You know, the win light's great. I just tickled to death.
And there wasn't much luck involved. There was no luck involved. You outran him today, Morris.
Yeah, I tell you, Dave Buckner and Bruce Eden, Kurt Zimmerman, I just got such a fantastic crew.
They have a fantastic driver, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
The 1988 Grand National saw a change in leaders in the Winston Funny Car Points Championship. Mark Oswald, by making the final round, took the lead away from Kenny Bernstein, who went out in the first round of competition. In the final, it was Oswald against Don Prudhomme, making his first final round appearance since the Gators of '87. With Oswald slowed with mechanical problems, Prudhomme won his 36th title.
It's awfully nice. Awfully nice, Steve. You know, we've struggled to get here, and if it wasn't for Skoll and Pontiac, I don't think we'd make it.
The race itself, as far as your car was concerned, he broke early.
Yeah, my car was breaking up the last round, and the last couple of rounds it wasn't really swift, but we're just trying to do the best we could do. You know, with these things, it can go either way. We ran decent today, though. I don't feel like we backed into it.
Well, I've got some more good news for you. 544.
Oh, that's pretty good. I thought it was breaking up a little. It shows you what I know. Yeah, it was, you know, I'm just happy that the car performed well, and the crew worked real hard on it. My crew's just the greatest in the world.
The Top Fuel final at the Grand National saw Dick LaHaye against Gene Snow. At this race, LaHaye had reverted to the engine combination that carried him to the 1987 Winston Championship. Gene Snow had the performance advantage coming into this final round race. And Snow prevailed by just a matter of a few feet.
Joe Amato's first round loss really hurt him in the points. He drops down to third with Hill on top and Gwynn in the middle. Bernstein out first round. He loses the lead to Mark Oswald. Don Prudhomme moves up to sixth. Not much change in Pro Stock. Allen still first, followed by Christian, Leal, and Glidden.
The traditional midpoint of the season is the NHRA Budweiser Summer Nationals at Old Bridge Township Raceway Park in Englishtown, New Jersey. A huge crowd was on hand in 1988 as the excitement prevailed in all categories of competition. In Top Fuel Eliminator in qualifying, Dick LaHaye was racing against Paul Smith. Smith driving the Top Fuel dragster out of the Chuck Etchell steam. One of the most important pieces in any successful Top Fuel car is the rear wing. And Dick LaHaye had problems with his in qualifying. LaHaye was able to keep the car under control. The finals of Pro Stock Eliminator at the Summer Nationals saw the defending event champion Jerry Ekman race against Bob Glidden. With the points leaders in the Winston chase going out either early in competition or failing to qualify, Glidden had a golden opportunity to advance. take the Summer Nationals Pro Stock title. For the second race in a row, Don Prudhomme wheeled his Pontiac to the starting line to race for the Funny Car Championship. His competition was Bruce Larson, and out of this race was to come the season's first repeat winner in Funny Car Eliminator. Setting low elapsed time of the meet, Don Prudhomme won the Summer Nationals crown. What a storybook year this was for Eddie Hill, one of the finalists in Top Fuel.
It wasn't too long ago that you and Eddie would sleep in your trailer because you couldn't afford a hotel room. It wasn't nearly this nice a trailer, right?
No, it was pretty hot in there too, but it was nice and cozy. It was kind of fun.
You got to be proud to see what all you've earned through hard racing.
Oh yeah, we've come a long way due to a lot of people that have helped us along the way. We don't want to take all the credit. Nice sponsorships and stuff like that. Great crew. We have to give them credit for that.
As much as you and Eddie love to race, could you go back to the pull-along days, the barnstorming days, and still have fun?
I could do it, but I sure wouldn't want to.
1988 marked the second straight appearance for Joe Amato in the finals of the Summer Nationals. Back in 1987, it was Amato against Gary Ormsby. Everything appeared normal for Amato as he brought the car to the starting line. Then when the Christmas tree flashed green, the problems began for Joe Amato. Into a wheel stand, then back to earth, Amato. Out of competition, losing to Ormsby. Here in the Summer Nationals finals of 1988, the winner of this race between Amato and Hill would go away the leader in the Winston points chase. And it was to be Amato with a 5.30 second elapsed time.
In the point standings, Joe Amato has moved past Eddie Hill. Oswald remains atop the Funny Car standings, but Bernstein is getting closer. Not much change in Pro Stock. Allen still first, followed by Christian and Glidden.
The next stop on the 1988 Winston Drag Racing calendar was the inaugural Motorcraft Ford California Nationals, the second of 4 new NHRA national events. Sears Point International Raceway near Sonoma, California, had a packed house on hand as in the first round, Kenny Bernstein raced Eric Reed. The defending Winston champion came into this round of racing holding down the #1 qualifying spot. That made him fair game for everybody, and most importantly, for the young driver, Eric Reed. Identical elapsed times, the starting line advantage by Reed paid off as he defeated Bernstein. The first round of Top Fuel at the California Nationals saw Frank Bradley race against the McGee engine car of Gary Beck. Beck had problems, that gave a single to Bradley, who also had problems, and he exploded an engine right off the starting line. The finals of Pro Stock Eliminator at the California Nationals had little impact on the Winston Championship points chase. Harry Scribner, at the wheel of the Chevrolet Camaro, raced against Don Beverly. This event marked the first time in 21 races that Don Beverly even qualified for the show. For Harry Scribner, he was representing his brothers in the finals, Tom and Dick. The starting line advantage by Harry Scribner gave him his first ever NHRA National Event title.
You've won an NHRA National Event in Pro Stock. I'll shake that hand.
Winning our home state, that's pretty good.
How long have you been trying?
Well, we've been racing, we had some records back in '57. My uncle used to run Super Cycle, so ever since then we've been on and off racing and doing the business stuff and all that.
Mark Oswald looked to increase his Winston points lead at the California Nationals. He was making his fourth final round appearance of the season, while his competitor, Don Prudhomme, was making his third consecutive final round show. Prudhomme had lane choice, while Oswald had experienced engine problems in the semifinals. In one of the closest races of the day, Mark Oswald won over Don Prudhomme.
You ran a 51 to Snake's 52, a classic drag race.
Oh yeah, it was a good race, and Snake's really been tough. We're proud to be able to defeat a car like his, you know, especially here at the Motocraft race, and all our Stroh's people are here, you know. It just couldn't be any better for us, and all the other cars in the points lead went out fairly early, so we really helped ourselves.
1988 was a season of consistency for Joe Amato. At the California Nationals, he made his sixth final round appearance of the season. Dick LaHaye, the defending Winston champion, was in his third final round of the year. Amato, by less than half a car length, defeated Dick LaHaye.
Amato's second straight victory has vaulted him into the lead in Top Fuel. LaHaye's best showing since the Winter Nationals keeps him in the fifth spot. Oswald opens up a 1,000-point lead on Kenny Bernstein, and neither Scribner nor Beverly move into the top 10 with their performances. The battle, Bruce Allen in first, Glidden in second.